not, for the time being, will you please switch off your camera so that mm, less of my network is consumed and the quality of network remains good. So, good morning, students. We begin with the first chapter, new chapter in history, and the name of the chapter is the First Empire, Mauryan Empire. Okay, I will read out
Okay,
and we
ma'am.
will go through the chapter line wise properly. Now, we talk of the times when the Mauryan Empire came into existence, and that was the time when Mahajanpadas, you remember, the Mahajanpadas were getting
Yes,
established
ma'am.
and the Janpadas were getting established. So,
Yes, ma'am.
with the growth of these Janpadas and Mahajanpadas, that means towns and good and great big towns, we had the empires building. What is empire? It is a big fortified kingdom under one powerful king. That is called an empire. Okay? So we begin with the introduction where it is said that the Nandas rose to power in the province of Magadha. Now there were rulers who were known as Nanda. Nanda rulers थे, ठीक है? And they were ruling the province of Magad. Now in Punjab, however, there were a number of independent states. They were often fighting against one another. Now Ambhi, the ruler of Indus, Jhelum, Doab, and Porus, the ruler of Jhelum, Chenab, Doab, okay, were great enemies. So this is a story which begins when Magad was ruled by Nandas, and there were a number of kingdoms in Punjab, okay, in Punjab area rather. So one among them was ruled by Ambhi, and the other was ruled by the king called Porus, Ambhi and Porus. Now they had the territories in the area near the Indus and Jhelum river in the Doab region. Okay, whereas Porus had his kingdom in Jhelum, Chenab area. These are the names of the rivers, and the Doab area was common. And they were constantly fighting. Both of them were fighting with each other all the time when it came to the territories. Okay, territories means the area which they had covered, occupied. Now, there was no unity in the land. Obviously, since the two kings were fighting all the time, so all these areas near the Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, and Doab area, they were constantly at war, so they were never in unity. And taking advantage of the time, it was at this time that Alexander the Great invaded India in 326 BC. Please underline the date 326 BC when Alexander the Great he invaded India. He came to India, he occupied this area. Okay. Now before we begin anything else, we need to talk about a little about Alexander the Great. Now, who he was, we need to know. He was the king of Macedonia, which is presently in Greece. Okay. So Alexander was the king of Macedonia and he wanted to conquer the whole world. Everywhere he went marching through the northwest passes, he entered India. And since he was roaming around the world, conquering the world, he marched towards India from the northwest. There are mountains there, and through those mountains, there was a pass. Pass is the area connecting one mountain with another. So he used that pass and entered India from the northwestern side. Okay, he entered India. Now, once he entered India, Ambhi, one of the rulers who was ruling in this Jhelum and Doab area, what he did was he joined the invader and gave him presents. So he just wanted to make him friendly. He wanted Alexander to be his friend. So Ambi invited Alexander and made him his friend and also gave him number of presents. He thus proved to be a traitor. You know what a traitor is? A person jo daga de ya jo dhoka de. So he was actually being a traitor to his motherland, that is India. Why? Because he was uh, siding with the enemy who had come to explore and invade. Now, Porus was not a coward like Ambi, but there was this other person, Porus, and he was not a coward. He was a brave king. And so what he did was he fought Alexander till the very last, but was taken a prisoner. So he gave a tough fight to Alexander the Great, who had come from Macedonia conquering the world. And now he was in India and had all ambitions to conquer here also. But Porus gave him a tough fight. But in the end, he was made a prisoner. Usko bhi kaidi bana liya. So now Alexander admired his bravery. So Alexander was very much taken aback by his bravery. The bravery of Porus attracted him. So he not only returned his kingdom, but also added more provinces to it. Alexander now marched up to the river Bias in Punjab. So after having a tough fight, he also captured Porus, but then seeing his bravery, he gave back him the province and his kingdom, plus also gave him some extra territories and extra provinces. And then he continued his march forward towards the river Bias. Okay, in Punjab it is still there. Okay. Here, his soldiers refused to go further and fight. They were perhaps afraid of fighting the mighty army of the Nandas, and they were scared, and they were also tired at this time. And since they had to cross mountains, so the soldiers in the army of Alexander, they refused to go further and to take up a fight. And also because the Nandas who were ruling Magad at that time, they were very powerful. So the soldiers were not ready to take up a fight with the Nandas. So Alexander appealed to his soldiers, but it was of no use. It was in vain that the soldiers refused to obey Alexander. So at last, what Alexander did is he decided to go back. Now, he appointed Greek governors in Punjab before he left. So since he was returning back to Greece, now the area which he had already conquered, that is the area in Punjab, he wanted his governors to look after that place. So he left his governors there to look after the kingdom. And then he died in 323 BC. Please underline this death of Alexander in 323 BC at Babylon at the age of 32. At a very young age, he died, Alexander. He died at a very young age. Okay? Can you all understand till here?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
after the death of Alexander, see what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. Please, please let the my icon be on in the center. Now, rise and growth of the Mauryan Empire. Now, it was this time that there was a rise and growth of the Mauryan kings. Let's see. After the death of Alexander, India faced another crisis. Dhanananda, the last Nanda ruler of Magadha, was hated by his own people or by his own subjects who used to be a part of the kingdom. So the last Nanda ruler, you remember on top we read that the Nandas were ruling Magad. Now among the Nanda rulers, the last of the Nanda ruler was Dhanananda. So here can you see, read, think and answer. Who was Dhanananda? Please answer it. Dhanananda was the last Nanda ruler of Magad. Okay, and the people hated him. Why? Because he was a very cruel king. Okay, in Punjab, the Greek governors were fighting for powers. Now, you remember while Alexander was returning, he had appointed Greek governors in Punjab. So these Greek governors, they were fighting among themselves. In this confusion, a young Kshatriya, Chandragupta of the Mauryan clan of Pipalivana, led a revolt of the people against the Greeks. Soon after, he overthrew the unpopular Nanda king with the help of Chanakya. Now, please, this last paragraph holds a lot of information and is very important. So, while these Greek governors were fighting among themselves in this great confusion, there was one Kshatriya prince, a young boy called Chandragupta. He became the king of Magad. Now, how he did this, we'll read about it. But with the able guidance of a man called Chanakya, he was a learned man called Chanakya, and he helped Chandragupta, a young boy who was a Kshatriya by birth. He started the Mauryan Empire, and he belonged to the clan. Please underline the name Pippaha Livana. Pippa Livana. Okay. Now, who was Seleucus and who was Megasthenes? These are the two questions which we will do once we answer the other part. Okay. Seleucus was the Greek governor. I'll tell you just now only. When we'll read, I'll let you know again. Seleucus Nicator was his full name, and he was the Greek governor appointed by Alexander to look over the province of Punjab. Then who was Megasthenes? He was, you remember, he wrote Indica. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Megasthenes was the Greek writer appointed by Alexander. And it was Megasthenes who wrote Indica. Okay? So when we'll read in future, we'll come back to these questions. Otherwise, now you know the answers. Okay. So it was Chandragupta who was helped by Chanakya to acquire the kingdom of Magad from Dhanananda. And also the governors of Punjab, the Greek governors of Punjab, they were fighting. So it was easy for him. Now let us see about Chandragupta Maurya, who was the first king of the Mauryan dynasty. His age from the time he came to the power and the time he died. 222 BC till 298 BC. BC is before Christ. That means 0 is taken as Christ's birth. So उससे पीछे जो चलेगा वो उल्टी गिनती चलेगी ना, तो दैट इज वाई वो इतने साल से इतने साल तक उसका टेन्योर था क्राइस्ट के आने से पहले. ओके, बिफोर क्राइस्ट. नाउ इन द 4th century BC, Magadha was governed by a Nanda dynasty ruler, Dhanananda, who was weak and unpopular. Chandragupta took advantage of his weakness, and with the help of an intelligent Brahmin called Chanakya, he overthrew the Nandas and established the first empire in India known as the Mauryan Empire. So we all know that seeing the the disadvantages that the Nanda rulers, the last among them, Dhanananda, was a weak ruler. He was very unpopular among his subjects. The people hated him where he ruled. So taking advantage of this and under the able guidance of a Brahmin called Chanakya, Chandragupta Maurya went and overthrew the Nandas and established his empire there, and it was known as the Mauryan Empire. Is this much clear? Then we come to war with Seleucus. Children, if you think that anything is clear, and when I ask you, you can leave an emotion, you can leave a thumb up or something so that I understand that you have understood. Okay, war with Seleucus. Now here we are talking about who was Seleucus. Okay, so let us see who was Seleucus, and there was a war with him. In 305 BC, Seleucus, the Greek general of Alexander, please underline the date, and it was the Greek general. Seleucus was the Greek general appointed by Alexander. He tried to reconquer the territories which Chandragupta had annexed. So he invaded Punjab. But Chandragupta Maurya gave him a crushing defeat. He just crushed him so badly that he could not win over Punjab, the areas which he had already conquered. Chandragupta Maurya had conquered. Seleucus was wanting to regain his power, but Chandragupta crushed him and defeated him, and Seleucus had to surrender. So Seleucus could not win the battle, and he had to surrender to Chandragupta Maurya. He gave Afghanistan and Baluchistan to Chandragupta. Please underline these two places. Afghanistan and Baluchistan were handed over to Chandragupta now. He also gave his daughter in marriage to the Mauryan emperor. So not only this, the two provinces of Afghanistan and Baluchistan, but Seleucus also gave away his daughter in marriage. And to whom did he give the daughter? To the Mauryan emperor Chandragupta. Besides, he sent
Maurya.
the Greek ambassador Megasthenes. Now, you remember Megasthenes was the Greek writer who wrote Indica, and he was sent as a Greek ambassador. Who's an ambassador? The one who represents the country. Okay, so Megasthenes was sent as a Greek ambassador in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. He was also given Afghanistan and Baluchistan, and he was also given Seleucus's daughter in marriage. Okay, now Megasthenes, he was uh, sent as a Greek ambassador to the royal court at Patliputra. Now, where was the kingdom? Magad was having its capital at Patliputra, which is now present day Patna. Okay, so it was here that Megasthenes came and he started living as a Greek ambassador. The victory led to the fame of Chandragupta even in the Western countries. So, not only just in India he was popular, Chandragupta gained his popularity even in the Western countries. I stop here for today. I hope till here everything is clear to each one of